is up? Welcome to another Top 10 Dark Ride Dracula spooky list. This time I enlisted the help of Mystery Inc.'s very own Velma here.
Jinkies!
Just in time for Halloween to come up with some more spooky songs to add to your playlist. This time we're going to the 60s. We're going to count down 10 of the very best spooky 60s songs. So many great songs came out in the 60s, spooky ones, that we could literally do 5 of these, and maybe we will. But we're going to start here on this one. Here's 10 of them. At number 10, what do we got?
That is going to be The Hearse by Terry Teen.
Never laugh when the hearse goes by.
Yeah, that one. That's a rare single. That's
Really
a
is.
single sells for a fortune. And it's got a hearse on the label, which I think is cool. I love when the label art gives you an inclination. You know, they didn't have a lot to work with when they put out 7-inch singles.
No.
You know, they didn't have the big 12-inch cover.
Yes.
So you had to, you know, make it as cool as possible. Like, there's Crypt Records with Tony and the Monstrosity. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. And Terry Teen went with a hearse.
And on the opposite side is Pussy Galore.
Yeah.
That's the B-side to The Hearse.
That is true.
That's another mystery in and of itself.
That is true. It's good that you knew that. Yeah, it is backed with that. You know, so that's a character, famous character. But we're talking about the hearse on this one. So we'll leave that for
Each their own.
we'll leave that for another episode. But yeah, great song. Terry Teen's The Hearse. It's, you know, it's a little spooky. You know, here comes the hearse. You know, it's came out, and this is one of those things where the exact release date is kind of unknown. It's not dated, and people speculate, but the general consensus is 1962, so we're going to go with that. And Terry Teen's The Hearse. He didn't make too many singles, but that's definitely the one he's most known for. Definitely. More so than the B-side there.
B-side.
You know, so all right, that's it. Brings us to number 9. At number 9 on the list, this one, I love this track. Roy Clark's Spooky Movies from 1962.
My cold, cold kisses give her chills, but the spooky, spooky movies always give her thrills.
Absolute classic.
I love that one. You know, that's another one similar to, you know, My Baby Loves the Monster movies, and then horror movies, and you know, it's true. Like, and I think it's like that's a new thing now. You've got the girls who love horror movies all over again, so it's like history repeating itself.
Yes, instead of
You know?
monsters, like it was back then, now it's more like slashers and serial killers, but
Yeah.
it's still a common theme.
It's funny because until I got into this music, you know, I didn't realize that there was a time when girls loved monsters. But that's the impression they give you. You see the stuff in movies, and it's always the girl grabbing the guy's arm at the drive-in and, you know, hiding, and the guy's got to protect the girl. You know, to see the spook show posters where it's, you know, ladies, bring your boyfriend because this is going to scare you, you know. It's going to scare the panties off of you and stuff. You know, you see these things, and so you assume that girls didn't like this stuff. But in reality,
They love the monsters.
they love the monsters, and these songs
They
celebrated
like to get
that.
scared.
Yeah, I think that's great, and that's a great song from Roy Clark. Love that one. Easy record to find, so if you're looking for that to add to your collection, that's one you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for. All right, so there you go. From 1962, brings us to number 8. What do we got?
The Goo Goo Muck by Ronnie Cook and the Gale.
I turn into a teenage goo-goo muck.
Love it.
Classic.
Love it. See, that's one of those things where it's obviously, you know, the Cramps. You know,
That's
you
the one
think,
you're most familiar with.
You think Goo Goo Muck, you think the Cramps. They, you know, that became one of their bigger songs.
Yes.
You know, and that's my favorite song off of Psychedelic Jungle, which isn't my favorite Cramps record. So,
But we'll
Tim,
get
if you're
into
watching,
that another time.
but
Not gonna stir that pot.
I love the original Ronnie Cook and the Gay Lads. You know what? It's a great song.
It
You
is
know,
a great
either
song.
way, it's a great song.
Yes.
And the Cramps did a faithful rendition of it.
Very.
You know, so if you listen to the original by Ronnie, it's definitely done faithfully by the Cramps. So you can love them both. You know,
Yes.
it's not too much different. And the original is great too. It's got a little bit of a more raw production as to be expected because, you know, it's from 1962. Great song. No, I don't exactly know what Goo Goo Muck is. Do you have any clues to that as to what the Goo Goo Muck might
This
be?
is the Family Channel.
Okay. All right, so draw your own conclusions. That brings us to number 7. At number 7 on the list, this one, I love this track. It's the New Trends with Spooksville.
Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Spooksville unknown. Yeah, I met a man.
This song right here, I wish I could tell you something about it outside of the fact that it was released in 1963, but this is the only thing they ever released. They put out one 7-inch single, and it's damn near impossible to find. And nobody knows exactly who the New Trends are. They were just a group local to this area, believe it or not, even though that song has made it across all kinds of comps and radio shows that deal in spooky stuff. I played it a million times on my radio show. But nobody knows exactly who the New Trends are.
Nope.
But they made a great song with Spooksville. There's a dark ride called Spooksville.
That's true.
But I can't tell you anything else about them. Nobody knows. I've been searching, for my book that I'm working on. I've been just desperately searching for information, but not too much has popped up yet. Nobody knows who the New Trends are. So if you do, let me know. But that's a tough one, but a great song.
Great song.
Spooksville. That sounds like somewhere you'd go.
Definitely. I'd move there.
You'd go to Spooksville with Scooby and Shaggy and
Yes.
all of that stuff. Yeah, great song from the New Trends from 1963 on the Lawn record label. Find it if you can. Super rare. Brings to number 6. What do we got?
The Mummy's Ball by the Verdicts.
Somebody stepped on the mama's foot. Hip the speckler started fighting.
I love this song.
Yes.
Verdicts didn't release too much music.
And the Mummy didn't get a lot of songs.
No, Mummy didn't get a lot of love. But this party sounds like it would have been the greatest party.
Sounds like a lot
to
of fights
go
going
to.
on.
It's at the Mummy's house.
Yes. Mommy's like, all right, you know what? Frank's had parties. Drax had parties. I'm going to throw my own. Why don't you guys come over to my house? And some fights start.
Yeah. And he says, everybody was there.
Everybody.
There's a Batman, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, everybody was there. And even an old lady in a rocking chair.
Yeah. She probably got no fight, and I'm probably related to her.
Well, that's what happened is everybody started fighting.
Everybody.
I guess if you put all the monsters in a room,
Gotta be careful what kind of
It's-
liquor you have at your mummy party.
yeah, it's gonna get out of control, and it did, and that's what the song is about. Great song. I would have loved to have heard more from the Verdicts. They did not release too much material, a couple of singles, and that's it. And that one is a really tough one to find. Goes back to 1961, but what a great song. I highly recommend checking that one out. That's a classic that you don't hear too much, and I love it. The Verdicts, Mummy's Ball, brings to number 5. At number 5 on the list, Billy DeMarco and Count Dracula with Drax Back.
Castles really jumping every night.
They're doing the drag with drag.
I love it.
That's a great song.
I love that song. Billy DeMarco is the voice of Count Dracula. Just so you know, there's your spoiler alert. Famous, younger brother of the DeMarco sisters. Made a couple of singles himself, and then that's it. You didn't hear anything else from Billy after that. And that's one of the things that's in the book. I did write some stuff about that song and about Billy, and he's got a great story, from being in a very, very famous family that you can look into if you want to check out the DeMarco sisters. They were huge. But that's him, Drax Back. Great song. He does all the voices in it, and it's just a classic. I love it. And so Billy's Count Dracula, and anytime Count Dracula can be put on a list here, we're gonna do it because it's Dark Ride Dracula, right? All right, so there we go from the 60s. All right, where we go? Number 4, right?
Number 4.
Number 4. What do we got? Number 4.
That is The Invasion is Coming by The Invasion.
Said, oh, buddy, you at it again. The invasion is coming. Oh, yeah, the invasion is coming.
Oh man, what a song! Yeah, that's like a garage rock. It's very garage rock. You can just picture some kids after just leaving the drive-in watching, a sci-fi, UFO spooky movie. You like that stuff, right?
I do. I love spooky
You like
sci-fi.
aliens and
I like
sci-fi
aliens
and UFOs.
Yes, monsters from outer space and all sorts of fun stuff.
That's a you thing, yeah. And so that one right there, super catchy, super hooky. The Invasion is Coming, and it's got a great fuzz underneath it. Very 60s. From 1967. Great song. Love it. Check it out. Brings us to number 3, and at number 3 on the list, this one right here, one of my favorite tunes. I know I say that a lot, but I love all these
They're all
songs.
his favorites.
They're all my favorites. Terry Gale's The Voodoo.
Got a wicked, wicked woman. Yes, you know just what I like.
Super, super, super hard to find record.
Yes.
From 1965, this one, this is a song that, like, at some point when I make my next record,
Yes.
I'm going to put, you know, some of these, I want to remake a couple of these songs. It's something I've always wanted to do. This is one of those songs. I love this song.
It's a great song.
Just got this great, it's a little garage rock, but it's got, it's soul, little garage
bluesy.
rock, it's just great hook. This should have been huge. There's not a lot known about Terry Gale, but man, what a song. This single right here, really tough to find single, but what a great song. Can't recommend enough. If you're going to have a 60s playlist, this is essential. This is one
Definitely.
that you could shake your booty to.
The booty shaker.
It is a booty shaker, you know, for sure. Love The Voodoo, Terry Gale, 1965 at number 3. Brings to number 2, what do we got?
I'm the Wolfman by Round Robin.
I'm the Wolfman. I'm the Wolfman, baby.
Oh, that's my boy.
Yes.
I love Round Robin.
That's a great song.
Yeah,
One of
I'm
the best.
Wolfman. What a song. That's my favorite Wolfman song.
Yes,
out of all of them.
definitely.
That one right there. Anytime I get a chance to put Round Robin on the list, he's going to get on the list. I love I'm the Wolfman. It's one of the coolest songs ever written. And Round Robin's got a huge, lengthy career of stuff, and I had the honor to talk with Round Robin, so that's going to be in the book, about his career, about this song, little bits and pieces of stuff. What a great song. It just totally, and there's a great clip online of him singing that song if you ever get the chance to check that out. It's on YouTube. I'm so glad that exists. That's just, you know, there's so many of these artists where there's literally no video footage, and in the case of Round Robin, we got lucky with this one. There's a little interview clip out there from him back in the day, and there is this, a clip of him doing I'm the Wolfman, and it's just, it's
awesome.
great. It's great, and I love it. So that brings us to the number 1 spot. At the number 1 spot on the list, this one I believe, even though it's the most popular song by a mile on the list, this one belongs on any spooky playlist for sure. It is Classics 4 with Spooky. Love it. That's the original. Atlanta Rhythm Section recorded it later in the late 70s, and they had a hit with it and stuff, but you gotta go back to the original, the 60s one that gives you that. That one's got that, like, perfect fog drive-in in the cool of the evening when everything's getting kind of groovy, right? You're with your lady, and then you're like, you know what I'm saying? Right? It's like, it's just got that vibe to it. That 60s vibe that's just so synonymous with that time that bands today try to capture and can't. There's just something about it.
Something special.
Great vocal, amazing song. Just, I love it. It belongs on any Halloween playlist, especially if you're going to add 60s stuff. It's just, it's essential no matter what you got. But for a 60s one, it's got to be at the number 1 spot. So that's it. It's going to do it for us on this 60s playlist. What song would you have put on the playlist from the 60s? We want to know. Put it down there in the comment box below. And we will see you soon for another spooky episode countdown here on Dark Ride Dracula.